Welcome back to the Fix Ops Roundtable. My name is Steven Hackbarth, joined here today with Isabella Stevens, and we are here in beautiful Sacramento, California at the Niello company. And we have a very special panel here today, the Service Writer panel, and we've got Rick Fuentes from Niello. We've got Bobby Caudle from Niello. We've got David Spisak from Disruptive Growth Solutions, and Smart Dealer, of course. And we have Ashley Campbell from CDK and Omead Anwar from Niello. How are you guys doing today?
Good, very good to be here.
Service advisors sit at the intersection of the customer, technician, and parts department. What does it take to successfully balance all three while still delivering a great customer experience?
I would say the culture. I mean, we work really hard on building the culture that the technicians, the parts department, the team has one mindset driving that to customer service and us executing it every day.
Yeah, I would agree. It's relationships and communications. Also communicating with the clients, building that relationship with the client. And you also has to have a really good relationship with technicians, and that turns into trust.
Great. Oh, it's me.
Yes.
So I kind of split it in two sections. I think our guys of the advisors here will get this, but there's the external, the stuff that's obvious, right? And then there's the internal. On the external side, I think first and foremost to me, it's hospitality. We don't see enough hospitality in our industry. And when somebody comes in, this is one of the last places they want to be. I think Google said over 80% of people hope they'd never come back here again. So when they do come back here, oftentimes they're either here because they have to do service maintenance, or worse yet, it's a repair. And you guys know how frustrating for a client that could be. So welcoming people with hospitality, I think, is absolutely brilliant, and offering a fantastic customer experience as you guys deliver every day here. The internal stuff that makes that happen, though, I think, is time management. I think you show me a service advisor that struggles with time management, and I'll show you somebody who does not call back customers on time. They don't have the opportunity to call back all the MPIs the way they want to. They end up with cars that end up not coming out on time. You end up with loaners that were in there too much, and you end up with oftentimes frustration with the techs. And as he pointed out, we have to do everything we can, not just to make a great experience for our clients, but for our technicians. We got to keep morale up. It's a hard job.
Awesome.
Of course. And I'll definitely say, from a relationship between parts and service advisors, it's really, really critical. Obviously, they should be closely aligned, and I think this is where we're going to see a lot more disruptive technology. I know we're tired of hearing of this word, AI, but it's really going to help create that better relationship and ultimately set that service advisor up for success and building that relationship with the customer.
Absolutely.
So for my day-to-day, I think the one thing I keep on my mind is my clients come to see me once a year, and I want to deliver at 100% every single time that you're going to come to see us. It's a dental visit. You don't want to come see us.
Yes.
I understand. Said, I make it Disneyland. And I think the Niello company in general delivers that, because we're reminded every single day when we come into our stores, our core values are right there on the wall. Me specifically, I'm staring at them.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
for me personally, you get to see this guy once a year and you cannot mess up. That one mess up might send them to another brand. And that's the way I look at it.
That's an
Brilliantly
incredible mentality to have.
I think it's brilliantly said, because, as I mentioned, we lose 80% of our clients after post-warranty to independence. And it's not, oftentimes people don't go because they want to go. They go because they end up pissed off, and that they don't feel wanted, they don't feel appreciated. And so I love that you said that, because if we make them feel wanted, it is our service advisors that cause our sales clients to come back. And you play such a critical role in making that happen.
Yeah, of course. Now, how important is the relationship between the advisors and the parts department in delivering that fast, seamless experience for the customer? You want to start us off with me?
Absolutely. I believe muscle memory comes into play, because when we're recommending parts on a certain job, and I mean, it comes with experience, I'll see the delivery date from parts, and I'll roll the dice and say, hey, I'm going to pad this, maybe a day or two. Lo and behold, I'm usually right. And it usually ends up not being in stock, or it is in stock, or it has to be ordered. And I think just the bringing that to the attention to every advisor and just giving a realistic time frame of when your car will be finished brings a better experience for your client. And yet, in my
Yeah, that good
opinion.
communication.
Yeah.
Ashley, what is your perspective coming from CDK?
Yeah, absolutely. I think those are some of the key problems that we're always looking to solve, and bring more advanced technology into solving them is creating that stronger relationship and overall real-time visibility. And it's not just between the way we look at it between service advisors and parts managers, but mostly reliant on building the relationships with OEMs so we can get that real-time supply chain visibility. And we are seeing a trend with a lot of OEMs that are starting to modernize their systems and give us that data, which is ultimately going to help set up a lot of the success for the advisor and the customer.
I'm so happy to hear that, with the OEMs, because our OEM partners are so important. And, we always know they could do more, but the reality is we could do more. We have to commit to being great partners to our OEMs and create, almost get them to the point where they have no choice but to step up. And they do need to step up, because oftentimes that is the bottleneck in parts. I'm always fascinated looking at Formula One or something, at how fast when they pull in and they pull out, it's not 60 seconds. No. And they're in and out, and you say, oh, that's impossible, but yeah, you're watching. Yeah. And I used to work with Larry Sherman. He was my parts manager at BMW. Larry was spectacular. And Larry would come into my sales meetings. Most parts managers don't, but bringing down the wall between parts and service, between the back counter and the technicians, they play such a critical role, and having great solutions that allow them to do their job faster is so critically important.
Of course, Bobby and Rick, how important do you think it is for these advisors and these parts departments to be in constant conversation with each other?
Oh, it's vital. One thing I really that we started to do at El Grove store is, when customer sets up an appointment, confirming we have the parts. And the one thing we have as a dealer compared to an independent is more techs, more space, and more parts. So really getting it to where being proactive, communicating with the parts department through chat, email, and making sure when that customer comes in, it's not a surprise that there's not parts they start.
And like everyone else has said, it's vital that the relationship between parts and service is one, right? So often we find in this industry that there's blockades, and people, it's like almost like they're two separate businesses. But when they're united and they have that single mindset on taking care of the customer, we can overcome those challenges, work the processes, and get the customer taken care of.
Absolutely. Throughout this panel, we've talked about seamless experience, as well as turning a dental visit into Disneyland, as Omead said. So the best advisors don't just write repair orders; they build relationships. Mm-hmm. What separates advisors who create loyal customers for those who simply process transactions? Ms. Ari?
I would say consistency. I mean, being consistent, having the processes that we come into. When customers come to us at Niello, they get world-class experience with videos from the technician, what they expect. And when they know what they're going to get when they come in, that to them builds that transparency and trust. And that really drives the repeat and referral business.
I would say the biggest thing that is a telltale sign that most of your Niello advisors have is when customers come in, they're bringing gifts, flowers, Starbucks card, and they're giving you a hug.
So they're being paid off. Tully, think on that. To me, I think it comes down to one thing, and I love everything you guys have said. I've learned from all of this. But to me, somebody who's transactional cares about the money, right? They care about getting that RO done, getting the gross in the books, and getting paid on it. One cares about the money. The other one is obsessed with the client. So the one that's obsessed with the client understands they're wanting a long-term relationship, and they're willing to think about the fact that if we're in a long-term relationship, I'm willing to do a lot more for you than if I know I'm just going to see you for 30 minutes today, right? So I think that's a big deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll definitely say having more predictability and a consistency in the process. I probably won't say much different from what everybody else has said, but also I think making the customer feel like they're being treated and that their needs matter, and there's a sense of urgency there. I think that's what helps build that relationship and that sense of trust. Also, transparency. They want to have confidence knowing they're going to bring their vehicle in on time. And when we say it's going to get done, then everything is going to get done to a T. And that means all the parts you're going to bill me for are correct. There's not going to be any surprises. So yeah, I think that's really what will be beneficial.
Transparency goes a long way, just to piggyback on what everyone just said right now. Having those loyal customers being able to text you personally and saying, I need an appointment, I need a loaner car, I'm in an emergency. You've become more than just their advisor. They're going to contact you. And I may be a workaholic. I get my emails on Sunday and I'll get a ton of people that are like, I just got in an accident. Let me send you over to Carly or Jeff over at our collision center. Let's take care of it right away. Are you safe? Are you okay? I love the idea of being able to take care of your clients, because in the long term, they're going to take care of you. And that's just the continuous business of repeat and referral. Let's come back and buy a vehicle from Audi. Hey, you have $30,000 worth of damage on this car. Let me get you over to sales. Let's get you another vehicle. Sometimes the value of fixing the car versus, hey, let's make a sale right now for them, means a lot more to the client, that they're like, hey, you're honest. And that's what builds it over time. It's not just like, let me just sell this really large RO. I'd love to do that every single time. But at the same time, ethically, I want my clients to come back and see me next year. I don't want them to buy another vehicle.
I love that you said that, because it's you hit a different level when you become a trusted advisor. When they call you because, their kid's car broke down and it's not an Audi, but where do I send them? And you say, yeah, I'll help you. I know a guy, right? Or how do I set my garage door up? All those little things that you're talking about, Omead, and that you guys are talking about, create such a memorable experience. And what you're doing is you're creating a bar that no other store is going to live up to. And that's pretty cool.
Yes, I 100% agree. Well, thank you guys so much for your time and for your take on this powerful conversation. Again, Isabella Stevens and Stephen Hackbarth here in Sacramento, California with the Niello Company, and we'll be right back.